Humankind has long had an affinity for qui-Ya, the bear. To the Ute people, qui-Ya is Big Brother. So too is the Hill people gear qui-Ya backpack, Big Brother to the Ute backpack. The thing about dropping down into a canyon, mid-canyon, is that when it's time to go home, you got to climb ahead of you to get out. But it pays rewards. I've looked at the ruins of a settler's cabin. I got to wish a Happy New Year to qui-Ya. I'm traveling with our qui-Ya pack, which is the bigger brother to our Ute. Whenever you look at backpacks, the very first thing to look at is the chassis. So that's what I'm going to start talking about here. This is a 28-inch frame pack, dual 7000 series aluminum stays, and a full 12-inch width frame sheet. The frame sheet is removable if you want to save weight or you're looking for a little bit of a different form factor, but it resists rounding of the pack. The waist belt is our Prairie belt. It comes with the Prairie belt. The Prairie belt does have two sets of foam, so you can tune it to your liking. For most folks, the way it comes, the foam setup it comes with is what you'll want. Our harness wraps the shoulders without creating pressure points. And in the case of both this and the Ute, you have a single point floating shoulder harness. That allows for articulation, or if you crank down the load lifters, it performs just like a more traditional fixed harness. The point of this chassis is to load just as much of the weight as possible onto your pelvis. So you have a nice, tight, close to your back design that drives the weight here, and the Prairie belt marries it to your pelvis. Our Prairie belt does have the PALS webbing on it, so you can mount things. In this case, you see that I've got a pistol holster, and also on each side I have one of our 16-ounce bottle holsters. Once you've looked at the chassis, you need to understand what the load control system looks like. In the case of both the qui-Ya and the Ute, you have our pulley style compression. The pull originates out here, comes back here to a pulley, and then comes back across the top, so that when you tighten it, you have a 2-to-1 compression system going on, and a single buckle tightens the entire load against the frame. You also have compression system going like this. We do not have a big floating unsecured top lid. The straps over the top control all of this load, drive it right into the very tops of the stays, so that you have absolute control over that load. At 5,500 cubic inches, this is a pretty good sized pack. This is the pack that, if you have winter loads, perhaps hunting loads, you're looking to carry freight, this is a great pack to do that with. All of our packs, or most of our packs, are designed to take an optional back pocket. The qui-Ya here is sized at an 11-inch width, so it's actually exactly the right width to carry our Connor back pocket. In this case, I'm using a PALS pocket, and so you can use any of our smaller pockets like the PALS pocket. Having a back pocket on this does two things. One is it gives you a place for all of that day-to-day load carriage, day-to-day items that you're going to need to pull out. But the other thing is, with the way our system works here, you can have it function as if it were a sewn-on pocket, or you can free float the entire thing, collapse the pack bag against the frame, and you could carry a quarter out using this thing almost like an external frame, with this as the compression panel carrying your load in there. The body is just one big continuous tube, and because this pack's really bigger than what I need for this trip, that's worked out really well for me, because I don't have things. If I had this really well stuffed, my load would come up to like here. But instead I just loose packed it and then compressed the whole thing up against, compressed the whole load using the panel back here up against the frame, so it gives me a nice tight load even though the pack's really not that full. The top pocket, or the top lid, is just a flap with a number 10 zipper, dual zipper pulls, but there is on top an 1.5 inch tall pocket with dual zipper pulls, so you can stash a few small items up top there. And then the underside of this lid is a Velcro loop field, so you can put any Velcro accessories. In my case, I have my first aid kit and one of our tool rolls just Velcroed on the top there. Internally, there are 3 reinforced load tabs that are directly into the tops of the frame. So the stays come right here, and here's where those 2 load tabs are. So if you were to hang meat bags or anything heavy right here next to the frame, you would have them suspended on the frame itself. You wouldn't be relying on the load control system to suck it in, although that's a helpful plus, because you're suspending the load right from here where you want it. We have on each side generous wand pockets, and like I said, the top lid, the zippers are all water resistant. There are no flaps covering them, so we went with water resistant zippers. No flaps to get caught. That's kind of a clean setup. And there's also right here dual inseam tabs in case you want to secure something a little higher. I'm fond of carrying a rifle in my wand pocket over my right shoulder where I can get at it, and you can put an optional strap there to help secure a rifle if that's something you choose to do. So that's it for our qui-Ya pack. It'll carry just about anything you want to. It's got all kinds of volume. The weight comes in at 6¼ pounds, extremely lightweight for the amount of load that you can carry in this thing, both from a volume standpoint and a weight standpoint. Add a pallets pocket on the back at 8 ounces. You know, you're at 6¾ still a really lightweight setup. And the other thing I'm carrying is one of our 915 stuff sacks. It weighs 2 ounces. Another 1,500 cubes. If I was in that situation where I needed to pack out something heavy on the inside like meat bags, I could transfer a lot of my light stuff, my sleeping bag, whatever, top load it, and devote the inside of the bag to the heavier item. So this is not quite the all-arounder that the Ute is at its 28-inch frame height, but if you need a dedicated larger load pack, this would be a fine choice for you.